Hello my beautiful babes, and welcome to my everyday full glam makeup routine. From concealer to brows to a gorgeous set of glossy lips, I'm going to be taking you step by step through my entire makeup routine. And when I think makeup, I think three things: brows, nose, and complexion, with brows being the most important. So to start, before any other product touches my face, I like to sleek down my brows. I do this with a dry and unmoisturized face because I feel like it just allows for my brow gel to really stick to my skin and also just tag down my brow hairs with ease. And water-based and oil-free moisturizers are really just my go-to. So I'm gonna take my COSRX Snail Mucin and apply that all over my skin. Whenever I'm doing my makeup, I like to go in with a little bit more product than I typically would, just because I feel like this acts such a good base for my makeup. Right over it comes my e.l.f. Grip Primer, and unfortunately, or maybe even fortunately, my Milk Primer was taken away at the airport security, and I'm really not even mad at it, just because it's given me a chance to use the e.l.f. one more. And in my honest opinion, the e.l.f. performs so much better than the Milk Primer, and I'm mainly focusing that underneath my eyes for a creaseless concealer application. And I'm also drying it up a bit with my fan because I really don't like for it to be slimy. I want it to be more tacky than slimy, especially for my products to adhere to it. So starting off my liquid complexion products with concealer, and I especially love doing this before foundation because, for one, my concealer stays true to its tone without mixing whatever foundation I would have put under it, if you get what I mean. I apply this product under my eyes, above my lips, and the centermost part of my face, and basically just any area that I want to reflect light and to be brighter than the rest of my face. While that concealer is sitting for a bit, I'm using my Holy Grail NYX blush, and I'm placing that on the innermost parts of my cheeks and then just tapping it right into my skin and upwards using a flat foundation brush. I really don't mind going in with a lot of this product here because, you know, I still want it to be visible after we blend it all out with foundation. And next, I'm starting with blending that concealer into my skin, starting with the outermost parts first before working my way in. And what I do with my blush is that I like for it to get as close to my concealer as possible because it really just helps with blending out my concealer, and when I am blending it out, it aids in a very seamless gradient effect. So yeah, I really love that. Then I work my way inwards, blending that concealer by the sides of my nose to spread that product, and lastly just tapping directly under my eyes for an even coverage in that area. I know underpainting is like the new hype and phenomenon nowadays, but I've been doing this for a while, one, but two, I really only love underpainting, I guess, quote unquote, with my concealer and blush underneath my foundation. And onto foundation. Choice of the day is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. This is glass skin in a tube. I'm not lying to you, but I warmed this up on the back of my hands using my finger, and I just spread an even coat all over my face on the areas that have no product. And like I said, I've really just stopped doing foundation all over my skin first because I just love the glow from within look that the concealer and blush give, especially when I do it this way. And with the best foundation brush ever, I've had this for as long as I can remember now, and I'm tapping that product in ever so lightly onto my skin. I focus on concentrating that product again on the outer areas first, and then I start working my way in as soon as I'm satisfied with the coverage that I have. And I do like Picasso and blend everything together using the excess foundation that's left on the brush. And you want your application on this step to be as soft and as light-handed as ever, just dainty, you feel me? Otherwise you're pretty much going to cover up all the work that you've already done, aka the blush and concealer. But you know, just go back in with your previous brushes if you need to, and just look at how seamless this blend is. I'm going in with another concealer that's a bit of a brighter shade this time around, and I'm adding just a small amount right in the inner corners of my under eye. And while that's drying up, I'm going ahead to add some depth into the centermost part of my face, aka nose contour, and I'm using the black opal foundation stick. Listen, I've been putting y'all onto this foundation stick for years now, okay? And if you've been watching me for a while and this product isn't yet a part of your makeup kits, then wagwan, like, what's going on? What's good? What are you doing? Moving on though, with the light hand, I use a dense shading brush, just, you know, brushing it along the sides of my nose, and I bring that product into my eyebrows as well, and I blend it out. And I feel like this step is the BBL of makeup. Like, your makeup will thank you for doing this step. Makeup overall, especially a full glam, doesn't look as elevated to me if your nose isn't snatched. Sorry, not sorry, I said what I said. bad, but you know, just make sure that you are taking your time to create the shape that flatters your face, of course. And yeah, that's extremely important. I take my time with it no matter what. But by now the concealer has had time to dry down a bit, and I'm focusing the blending right in the same spot that I placed that concealer. And I'm really not here to tell you how to blend the product into your skin, because the main focus is creating a flat and even canvas of that product itself. You know, unless you're going for a skin-like look, what's the need for you to be blending it into your skin? You want to more so blend out that product so it's seamless looking, but you're not blending it into your skin. We're not trying to look like we don't have makeup on here, you know what I mean? But with the extra product that's on the brush, I'm just carving out my cheekbones a little bit, and I'm doing so by adding just a light amount underneath my blush, just to, you know, chisel out my cheekbones a bit. And finally, I'm reintroducing that foundation brush just to blend all of our liquid products together, and you know, just making sure that nothing is out of place. Moving into our powders, setting my concealer in place is the first step. And to avoid creasing, go back in if you need to and correct any flaws in your concealer, because as soon as you do that, you immediately want to go in with a light amount of powder, you know, just to set that in place. My technique includes setting the concealer first and then baking, so I pretty much introduce that powder to my skin in small doses by making sure that I'm tapping any excess powder off of the brush before setting that concealer in place. With how lightweight and buildable this Huda Beauty powder is, I'm basically damn near able to set my entire face with it and still not look cakey. I just tap that powder over any area that I want to mattify, but I keep most of the powder concentration in the inner corners of my under eye. Going in with a pale pink blush to bring color back into my cheeks, I just love how light this blush is, especially because I'm able to bring it basically under my eyes, and it just ties in the look so well. Most days I pretty much leave it like this because, you know, I love the look, but on days that I do want more depth and a warmer look, I'll go in and mix these two other products, and one is a face powder and the other is another blush, but this combination just bronzes up my face like no other. I'm adding some more of that setting powder and blending that blush in as well. And I used to be a brows first type of girl, but now doing my brows during this part of my routine has just been making more sense, and surprisingly also cutting down some of the time that I spend on my makeup. I'm going in with a Milani brow pen to add light hair strokes to my brows, and it's so easy to do my brows with this product. But I do have to mention that because it's easy to apply, it's also very easy to get heavy-handed. You can easily get very carried away with this product, so you know, it's all on the wrist, just a light flick of the wrist to get the perfect amount of this product onto your brows at a time. And I'm using a combination of the NARS concealer pots in Amande and Cacao to conceal my brows. And first I'm using the lighter shade to carve out the bottom of my brows, and then I'm pretty much just following that shape that I have. But I'm also never afraid to create any new shape that I want to either complement my makeup style better or just, you know, complement how I'm feeling for the day. So you'll see me go back and forth with the brow pen and concealer a few times, you know, just to correct and redefine the shape of my brows as many times as I need to. And most importantly, the shade of concealer that I use at the top of my brows is always going to be as close to a skin tone match as possible. You know, we do many things around here, but halo brows is not one of them. I'm basically also going in with a buffing brush to blend out any harsh lines that are visible. And next I'm going in with the foundation, aka the bronzing powder that I used earlier. I'm going to use this to bronze up my eyes a bit and also just bring that product into my nose to define my nose contour. And I love this step so much. Like, I feel like it just brings the entire look together, and it also adds so much depth to my eyes, and it just complements the shape of my eyes, you know? I'm also placing some setting powder on the centermost and highest points of my nose, and then going back again with the brush that I used on my eyes, you know, just to make sure that my nose contour is sharp, precise, and seamless. Once all of the powders are on, I'm gonna go in with my Milk Setting Mist. And if you know the difference between setting spray and fixing spray, then you know that setting spray just kind of helps your makeup melt together, you know, kind of make it look like it's actual skin. And we're gonna go on with fixing spray later at the end for a long lasting look that honestly won't budge for hours. But before that, I'm gonna finish my eye look, and my mascara of choice is the Makeup Revolution mascara, and I'm using this to prep my lashes for my falsies. For my falsies, listen, I always wear the same pair every single day and I get so many questions on it, so I will leave the links down below for you guys to check out. But I'm finishing up my eye look with bottom mascara for the Dramatics. And next up, pucker up and grab your favorite lipstick and glosses for lip combo, and I'm using all of the products that are listed on the screen, and I'm just lining and shading out my lips until they're looking as juicy as ever. You know, I gotta be satisfied with them. I'm highlighting my nose to complete the look, and I'm using the Bobbi Brown highlighter, the gold one, and this is just such a necessary step for me. Like, I can always tell when something is off with my makeup when I don't do this, and you'd be surprised how many times I forget to do this. But finally, to keep this makeup in place all day and all night, I'm going in with my fixing spray from Makeup Revolution, and I'm also using a mattifying spray from Morphe. Love this combo, but I do have to say that the Morphe spray does not mix well with my under eye powder at all, so I do try to avoid getting it in those areas of my face. But I finish up with the other spray, and in this tutorial we covered important base techniques for a good complexion. We focused on details that work for our face and makeup style, and all of that resulted in such a beautiful full coverage look. I really hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you'd like to see next, and I will see you babes in my next video.